Oh, hello everybody. Where's Perky at?
I'm here.
There he is. There he is.
I figured I was going to give you the intro.
Oh no, take it. Take it. We can still keep this the same.
Welcome to a Monday night versus our Tuesday night show. We're basically going to talk about Redacted, my series. This is its second iteration coming up, so we're kind of amping up for that series, but kind of diving a little bit deeper. What makes it unique, and we're going to get a little bit more detailed with that. And then Rook, kick us off. Who is NNK?
So guys, we're the team you always want to play with and never against. I feel like that always holds true. I love that. I love that. I'm just kidding, guys. People be sensitive sometimes about things like that. But if y'all know me, you know how I get down. But I will say, I'm excited about Perkins' game Redacted. I actually signed up to be Team White, and it is looking pretty tasty. I'm not gonna lie. I see the way he does things is very Black Ops-ish. It's very hush hush to the last minute. It's very competitive and very in your face paintball. But you want to give him a little taste?
Yeah, sure. So here is a basically. I'm sorry, I'm still fighting the flu. I know. I'm sorry. Still fighting the flu. So I've got a live action trailer basically that we filmed back in January. I think it was like 37 degrees outside. So it was
warm.
It was a little, yeah, especially warm in the state of Texas. So let me get this going for you guys. And here we go.
Oh, I like this. That was good.
Oh, you know what's coming. favorite part.
That's pretty tasty, guys. I'm telling y'all. Um, Man, that game looks fun. I'll tell you, props. I know it was a group effort for that video. Props to the people that produced that because half those people aren't that good looking and they look damn good in that video. I know them, and damn it, they looked good. Um, and you know the tastefulness in that video. I mean, the heartbeat in the head and the breathing. If you guys ever played a night game or you know you're about to get smoked and it's just you against the world and you see how many you could take with you. That's the feeling. That's the feeling. It's you and your thoughts and you know, a little bit of anxiety and that's it. So Redacted, let's talk about it a little bit. You kind of got the vibe of it a little bit with, you know, the black marker, which is like my favorite thing. It looks so cool. And the intenseness of it, right? There's a lot of intent behind it. And Redacted to me kind of falls in this niche of a paintball game. It's similar. I like to say it's like CAX, right? These
Mhm.
small, intentful, and thought through games that play very different. Don't get me wrong, play extremely different. But I don't know. It creates a small environment that you get to control more. What was your idea behind Redacted?
Yeah, so from all the years being a scenario player, seeing the great things in scenario ball versus like tournament speedball, being able to work as a team, complete missions is always fun. Um, Night games are always great, but a lot of the time, most of the I don't want to say pitfalls, but one of the most reoccurring negative experiences on the player aspect is based on they felt like they weren't getting a great experience from people in the box as far as commanding, whether they felt like missions weren't being handled properly or handed out and this and that. And so, long story short, my game is more about giving the players full control over the points that they earn. So there are no commanders. This is specifically squad-led missions to where I've already written the game, the dossiers, basically each squad. So my game originally built for 9 squads of 6 players, and each squad gets a completely different, separate dossier. And the dossiers that I sent out for this game were 62 pages. Now, there's a lot of pictures. It's not a pop-up, but there are a lot of pictures to take up a lot of that space. But all that to say is players have 3 weeks to basically go through every single mission, read in between the lines, and try to plan what they think will work. And if it ends up working out, or if they have to change mid game as they're trying to figure out and navigate as a squad, what they're being challenged with from my game and what they're being challenged with the opposition on the field. So
Yeah, and those dossiers are they're in depth. Like Perkins put a lot of work into it. Game was built for 9 games. He got 8 in there, and there's 8 different dossiers. It's really
mhm.
cool. He puts you in a Discord. There's passwords. There's different chats. It's very part of me wishes I would have jumped on it sooner so I could have squatted up with NNK, but I got half Havoc and half NNK, which is totally cool. I get to meet some new players, get to go smoke some people, and I get to shoot my teammates. So that's going to be great. They think I'm going to give it to them easy. Don't you worry, buddies. Don't you
So let
worry.
me tag on to that real quick. And I think one of the main, I don't want to say misconceptions, but everyone is so used to registering red and blue with their own squad that my game is set up to where you can have multiple squads being represented by the same team, but they're just going against each other. So like last year, as an example, the teams that signed up for Black Squad actually was a multi, kind of like a mixed squad, like a mixed match squad. So we had Hit Squad, Black Tree, and Murder Boys combined into the 6 players on that squad, and they ended up winning. And I'm so thrilled that a mixed match team ended up winning because it's proving the point that like you don't have to have 6 players from your squad all sign up. It's it's great to do that, but let's say you have like nine guys on a squad that want to play. Well, 6 can sign up, the other 3 can still sign up, but you're just going to be playing against your own team. And how else to get better, right? Play against the guys that you work with all the time. Um, it's this game is designed to challenge you and improve your strengths and improve your weaknesses. So.
Yep. And I think a bigger point on that is, sometimes on a smaller team, a team doesn't want to visit a game, right? Now you can sign up by yourself and you don't got an excuse.
Mhm.
I knew that a part of my thing was, one is I was unsure if I was going to go to Perkins game because of I got life, right? Everybody has a normal life. So I knew if there was one spot on one squad, I could still sign up. I
Mhm.
wasn't really worried about playing with my guys because my guys are taking it super seriously. They got a squad, they're planning, they're doing their thing. That's part of the beauty too, right? Like a lot of teamwork you saw in the beginning of that. People were mapping things out.
Mhm.
But part of the beauty is I just kind of jumped in. I got 2 guys on my squad that are from my team and 3 guys from another team, and we jumped in this Discord and just started getting at it. We started talking about things. I started reading a lot. I like to read in between the lines, a lot of planning, a lot of conniving. This game can be played a lot of different ways. It could be played aggressively, which some teams might do, some teams might. There's a lot of math involved because we're talking first, second, third place out of 8 squads. And there's a lot of in between and some, like maybe, hey, bro, don't shoot me this time kind of stuff going on.
Mhm.
Now, you can't do a truce. That's part of the rules. Because it could ruin the game, right?
Mhm.
Nobody wants to do that. But man, there's so much in there, and I can't wait because I'm gonna get my hands dirty. I'm gonna get my hands dirty. It's gonna be great. So it gets me excited that there's a game that kind of uses a lot of brain to it too. It's not just
Mhm.
getting in there and shooting people, but it is right. If you want to put up those pictures of Texas paintball, so
Yeah,
Texas
sure.
paintball is one of my all-time favorite fields. That's where this game is held at. Now, imagine squads running through this together, stacked up, and smoking each other. I mean, you got a lot of tight quarters. You got cracks, crevices, windows, different floors, under stairs, and you're clearing buildings. And it feels very satisfying when you hit a corner fast enough, you just smoke somebody right in the grill. But it's scary. I mean, if anybody, a couple different fields out there that give you that feeling. Texas paintball, obviously one of them. Going up and downstairs and in these corridors. If you guys ever been to What's Up in Gun Barrel in Texas, they got the containers there. Same feeling. Just heartbeat in your head, breathing hard, and you're just like, what's about to happen to me? So a lot of different angles, a lot of different play.
And this game is definitely built around Texas paintball just because of the dedication and design that they put into their fields. It just is so fitting. Um, and lots of games, lots of scenario games, whether it be, most of the time I think have been magfed or hybrid, just smaller games. As far as attendance, like player capped events, have done extremely well out there just because the field is phenomenal. So it's not like some of the other fields where they close down the entire field, where we're event coordinators. We're still able to use half the fields while the business still able to keep all their day plays, their walk-ons, their birthday parties on the rest of the fields. So that's great that they don't have to shut down, so they can still make their money while the event is still going on.
100%. Let's get into this chat a little bit. We got a little chatter kind of coming down here. We'll say what's up to Marcos, Gage. Gage just yapping in the chat. Aaron was here first. Want to throw that out there. Um, Gage is saying White Squad finna get stomped. Well, yours truly is on White Squad. But one, Gage won't even be there. Two, he thinks he's a tournament player, but let me tell you, he loves walking into lanes. So I don't know, buddy. If you were out there, I don't know. Seth Taylor, what's up? Yeah. So one of some I'm gonna tell you guys again, redacted is supposed to be hush hush, right? That's part of the allure. It's fun. It's part of the vibe, it's part of all that. And so I'm gonna give you guys, after reading 62 pages of it and going through it, I'm gonna give you kind of what I'm excited for without giving too much, because what's the fun in that? There is a type of game mode where so in this game, it's not always 8 squads against 8 squads, right? Sometimes you got, there's a mixed match of teams. You could be working with somebody for a certain objective, or you could be working against more teams. In this one type of game, you're actually outnumbered. With being outnumbered, everybody only can have 3 mags on them. That's 60 rounds. That's not a lot. With that being said, there's objectives to to defend and attack. And I think that really put some pressure on a lot of people because overwhelming firepower is how you kind of win some things.
Hmm.
Not gonna lie to you, I was at a game last weekend, went out there with the homies, played around, and I took the Perkins route. I got a mag-fed gun and I played a speedball game with a mag-fed gun. Was it fun? Absolutely. I smoked people? Absolutely. Did I still get my rundowns? Absolutely. But 20 rounds is way different to you know, work with, right? Now that 20 rounds is different. Now you're talking about you only give me 20 rounds 3 times. Things start to get a little interesting when you're clearing rooms. You're not just bang 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 and clearing a room. You're looking for a target and shooting for it. um I was griping at final battle about how I couldn't run down at the 50 because I had a magfit gun, right? I'm getting hosed down and I'm trying to bump and bump and bump and get there, and I'm taking my shots, I'm getting people, it's still cool. But to put somebody in while you're trying to bunker them with the magfit gun is hard. So these buildings and these corners were taken. I mean, you got 20 shots, you got to use them wisely. And if there's 2 people there holding 2 different angles, got to fight 2 different fights. 60 rounds is just not enough. So you got to get creative, right? Let's see what we got in here. We got Seth, RIP Gage. Yeah, you know how it is. Marcos, what's up again? So that is one of the ones I'm really excited for. Um, there's a lot of other. I'm gonna give you one on one side, and I'm gonna give you another on the other side, just so you see the diversity in the game. Um, there is a like a hostage rescue situation, but your teammates are the people that are saving you. So what's cool about it, I thought, because he could have went about it and been like, refs, you guys are gonna be the hostages, or we're gonna pick up mannequins or whatever. But we split the team in half. So now you got this weird 3v3 situation going on. Um, with hostages, right? And what I love the most part about it, I think my favorite part was the hostages. We are all assigned a number when you when you start. Sorry, I'm reading the chat.
You're good.
And the hostages were assigned already. So when we got our numbers, we knew we were hostages, right? So the information is there. But I liked it wasn't like, okay, you're gonna be it, or Perkins went by and does it. It was already assigned. Like fate had it. I'm a hostage. That sucks. I'm not happy about that, right? I gotta sit there and wait for somebody to come save me. Um, but there's just so many things I'm not gonna give away because I like playing that gray area, and there's a lot of good reads in there that you can figure out some ways to make this happen. Um, so with that being said, there it goes opposite end, right? One where
Mhm.
you just straight sharp shooting skills, and the other one where it's a little bit of mix of both. And how much can you read into it? How much can you and without giving all the missions away, that's really what it is. You look at every single mission, and it's extremely different from the one beforehand.
Mhm.
Some of this stuff I'm interested to see happen. There's some things in there that it's gonna take some manpower and logistics out of Perky,
Mhm.
and I'm excited to see if it works. And yeah, it's some cool stuff in there. So I'm excited about that. Let's
I think
see.
one of the other integral parts for the reasons for creating the game is I wanted to improve the level of players in the community, and how else to do that but challenge them in the areas that they're uncomfortable with, right? Force them outside of their comfort zone. Whether it's limited ammo, whether it's kind of in the missions that you were just talking about without giving too much detail, setting skills that have to be used on every single different mission or situation rather. And I think that that's going to help overall our community as paintballers improve the way that we play and make it challenging for the next game and the next game and the next game. So
Oh, for sure. Marcos had something interesting to say. He said, I'm assuming when you were talking about clearing rooms. Says not hard when people expect you to run away when they're shooting you. and you what is that? Rush the ever living shit out of them. Sorry, he misspelled. I couldn't read that. Um, I get that. No, for sure. I think that works in some games though. Another thing he did was an operator list. You know exactly who's on what team, at what number. It's a big hint there for you clowns that don't pay attention to things. So you know exactly who's doing what all the time. You can find out exactly who's going to play against you, with you, and all that. Just for you clowns that don't know how to read. Um, but uh, I would agree with that, Marcos. But you look at that list, and I know a lot of the ballers on there. They ain't fucking runners, bro. None of them. There's a lot of people up there that are gonna just smoke your shit, and they're down to gunfight, and that's what I'm excited for too, right? I know my squad. If I see them run, dude, I'm mag dumping them in the back. Like that's just gonna happen. If I see a NNK jersey running away from me, all fucking day. But a lot of the guys out there, man, they're fighters, and I think that's gonna be a fun aspect of it too.
Mhm.
But again, it's brain and brawn. It's just not just fighting, and I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see the people. I don't know, live through that, and some of those I'm telling is I wish I could tell you more. I'm trying to like
Yeah.
navigate this.
Hmm.
Can't say too much, but it's fun and it's gonna be awesome. But yeah. So like I'm gonna give it to the floor real quick. Anybody got any questions? It looks like a lot of the people in here are the ones going. Um, so Perky, what's your plan for the future for this game? Like, you know, do you always want it to be 9 people? Are you gonna do more and more often? Like, what are you thinking?
So, right now, so obviously this is the second iteration. The first game was obviously conceptualized, but what was challenging was everybody wanted to play it, so there was no one to ask feedback on, no one to ask questions about, and so the first iteration literally went from my head to paper, straight to the dossiers, and straight to the field. And there is one hiccup with a team, with two teams. NNK was one of them.
Hell yeah.
Made a truce with another squad
Hell
under the
yeah.
table, and just like just
It's my
destroyed
boys
that
right
mission
there.
completely. Mission 6, but overall the event went really, really well. There's a lot of things that I took out of the game to make the game very much fair play. So there's no havocs, there's no there's no havocs, there's no box mags, there's no shields. Basically making sure it's legitimate tactical paintball. You can only be eliminated by a paintball, whether it's first strike or round ball. So there's grenades are allowed, both smoke and EG67s. They just don't cause eliminations. So they're for distractions, concussive, cover, whatever you need them to use for. So this is legitimate in your face when you need it to. And for the second iteration, what we're about to play is a lot more heavy gunfighting than it was last year. I feel like last year I did more storyline, which is great and needed kind of to start the lore, if you will. And then for Redacted 3, each event builds on the next. So right now I'm kind of just creating new situations to kind of pull all together and say, okay, I know this works, I know this one, I know this works, I know this works, and then have a rotation of those. Because the beauty of these games, and so obviously you read the dossier, I could literally run the same game a second time in the same year, and it would play completely different based on how the players conceptualize and then execute what it is that they think that they're going to be able to do. So, I mean, I could run multiple events. I would like to try a bigger game once this kind of is polished. I mean, the game does really well by itself. I'm not saying that it's not ready. I'm just saying that, like,
To expand, you want it to be a little bit. You
yeah,
want to
I
get
want
a
to
little
make
bit
sure that I
more
have a little bit
info.
more to pull from. So it's
Yeah.
not just like throwing things to the wind and see if it works. But just know, like, tried, true, and tested. This works, framework and everything else. Because I built the game, basically, it has a very structured framework. The rest is gray area. So that's up
Hmm.
to the players. And so that's what makes it so unique is I want players to, in the Discord, basically plan out what they think, talk to me, ask questions like, hey, we really think we're interpreting this way. Is that doable? Rather than I know your mentality originally was like, I'll
Yeah,
just ask for forgiveness later, right?
yeah, 100%, and that's a very good point. I didn't trust you. 100% was like, I ain't gonna fucking tell him or ask him any shit. I'm just gonna fucking do it and figure it out. But no, I think the game is meant to be played in the gray areas. And step back a little bit on the dossiers. I'm usually okay. Everybody knows I'm just a paintballer, just a fucking simple ass paintballer. So storyline, um, kind of that kind of thing. It's not very it's not something I look forward to, right? But Perkins's theming is like on point. I told him I thought it was a little annoying because I had to go look at pictures and shit and go back up because the theming's good. But it all makes sense. And I don't know, when you're reading these things, it feels like you're doing something bad. Yeah, it's like you're reading them and you're like, oh, should I be reading this? It feels kind of sneaky. It feels kind of like you're
Mm,
like a operative. You're on a
yeah.
secret mission, right?
Mhm.
You see some of those stills that he used. These are in all of the different missions,
That's it.
right?
Yeah.
So each situation, as he calls them, um, or event or whatever. Not trying to give too much
No,
away, but like
situation is fine. Yeah.
situations.
Mhm.
So each of them have a picture of like what you're doing, where you're going. Um and I don't know, it just looks like a mission packet, like a legit, like if you're playing Call of Duty, you swiping through that shit. It's just like that. And it gives you a really good idea of how you want to plan your stuff out. So you have, like he said, he structured it so you have everything you need. Now what are you gonna do with it? That's really what it is. And yeah, so it looks like we got Gage. He's still trying to, be somebody, calling me barely a rec baller, but yeah, that's all right. Got Allen in here. He says he's first time champion. Which is true. I'm pretty sure he was
Mhm.
on Black Squad, right?
Yeah, he was on Black
Um,
Squad. Yep.
the mixed match. I'm sure they had a name. Alan, put the
It was
name on
funny.
there.
They called it Black Murder Squad because it was
Black
Black
Murder
3,
Squad. Yeah,
Hit Squad, and then Murder Boys.
that's what it is. I knew there was a name to it. And then Aaron says he's excited for the night game. Those lights look sick. I hate night games. It's not a secret. But it looks fun. The rolling lights are always cool because for anybody that played a night game, when you bang a flashlight in the middle of the woods by yourself, you can't see shit afterward. It's like it ruins what you can see from the moonlight. So I'm assuming those lights are really gonna mess with that when you get close to an objective. So I'm kind of interested, and I've asked a lot of flashlight questions because I'm gonna have some fun. And I'm interested what's gonna be like when we find these points.
Mhm.
Because it's attached to a point. I went too far. Um, and we're fighting to keep it, right? Because
Mhm.
once you look at a light and you're looking out a window, it's just darkness. Same thing kind of coming in. You can see my shadow.
Right.
So how am I gonna fight this off?
So I
Well,
will say, like, I took the time when going finding the buildings and actually looked at not only the rotation of the light, but what shadows were created, where the light was shining, where it wasn't. Trying to make the fair play where one opposition didn't have advantage of the other. So that way, it's intended to be scary. But I know Playboy, who was there for the filming, they actually got to run one of the like a sample mission a little bit, and he's like, "Dude, you're the first person ever to create a fun night game." So
yeah.
I did take that to heart. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and I mean, you got the perfect field for it. Like
Hmm.
the way it's shaped and the way it's played. A lot of fields try doing floodlights and glow sticks and a lot of different things. Everybody's tried something out there, but I'm excited to see how this plays out. When it all shakes out at the end of the day. But that is, yeah. So
Rooks, you see me.
he's 100%. Okay, Seth, relax. I'm not trying to blind any of you guys, but you boys better watch out. Lights ain't gonna be what you think they are at night, baby girl. It's gonna be fun. Your boy is old. He's fat, so I gotta keep up with the young guns, bro. But this mind is sharp. This mind is sharp. I'll tell you that. Um, Aaron's talking about me shooting Gage at night. It happens. I'm not gonna go through the story, but Gage is still upset about it. Kind of deserved it, but whatever.
Mm.
Who runs at somebody full speed at night? Comes out of the shadow. I mean, come on. We're all scared. Hey, 3 shots, 3 hits though. I'm just saying he wants to talk all this shit. But I shot him 3 times, I smacked him 3 times. Anyways, um, so Uh, that's gonna be redacted. Excited for it. A little bit more kind of going forward. What we got with NK moving forward. We got some cool games coming up. I was at a game last weekend, spitting and spewing, talking to teams, shaking hands. I know I'm looking at this chat right here, and Alan's gonna be there with us. We're talking CPX at What's Up Paintball in April, and everybody's gonna be there. Like I hope so, anyways. Like I like to say it like that, but I know NK is gonna be there deep, and I'm really excited. To see all the guys together again. We haven't played paintball in a little bit, and so we missed the fellas. Yeah, BJ said, to keep up with the young guns, you got to take them out at the knees. He's not wrong.
We
So
got to update some of these photos.
yeah, some of these photos need to get updated.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these spots also need to get filled.
Yeah.
And we're missing a few of our guys on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just excited to see everybody. I miss I don't know, I miss those big games where like, NNK pushes something, we all get fucked up. It's fun. That's what we're there for. And then I like just tag up with somebody else. There's another team out there. I'm like, hey, what are y'all doing real quick? And we'll go do it. I've done it with camo. Hey, what you doing? Oh, we're holding this. Let me sit down for a little bit right here with you. Let's hold this thing together. So I'm excited back for those big games. I'm excited to see CPX in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, it's a huge national game that plays at really big and extravagant fields, and it brings a lot of numbers. And so I'm commanding, and I'm honored to command because I want to make this the biggest it can be for the first time, right? And I want it to stay. I don't want to have to travel for another badass game. And so the first one, I hope everybody comes out, loves it, and then just grows from there. You hear about all these, fold a gap, 1,000, 1,500 people games. Like, I want that shit in Texas. I don't know about y'all, so come out. Um, so I'm excited to see all the guys. So that's what we're doing in April. Uh, NNK is also on the move a lot lately. We're gonna be, yep, there it is. There's your event date. There's where you're at. And Blue Side is who everybody playing for, just in case anybody knows or needs to know. I'm going up against Curtis Bumgarner. My XO is Philip Ramirez from Cobra. Me and Philip been going back and forth XOing and commanding with each other for a long time, and yeah, we haven't lost yet. So we can't, he's the homie. He can't fix what's not broke. So we're gonna try it until until it don't work no more. And then I'm gonna be like, fuck you. um I've only seen I'm sorry, Marcus said I've only seen that field overpacked once. Vipers first event there. Excited for the opportunity to play it again. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Triple threat, probably one of my favorite games there, most stressful game. You're fighting one team, another side hits you, and it's just pure chaos, right? That
Mm-hmm.
game, that whole field can play really well.
Yep.
One of my favorite fields, if you guys don't know anything about it, you got, hotels down the street, you got a Walmart down the street, you got a Dollar Tree in the same parking lot, you got everything. We stay at the RV park. You could stay on the field itself. They have showers there. They got now they have AC restrooms. Like it's
They
great.
got some what is it? Queso flamiato. That's to
Yeah,
die for.
yeah, literally almost fucking killed the motherfucker. I ain't gonna say who it almost killed, but it almost killed the motherfucker. Um, but yeah, so like we're super excited for that. We're doing another CPX game. Zoe's doing Hollywood Legends in California. She's commanding against Callista. And so there's a few of us are gonna go out there and tear it up in LA. And NK's been traveling a lot, seeing a lot. Um, that's a good one. Sorry, that distracted the shit out of me. Camo said I miss Steel Fortress. That's a good one.
Yeah, that
Um,
was a good one.
what was I saying?
So
Yeah,
I'm bringing up the
Hollywood Sports or
Hollywood
Hollywood.
sports
Yeah.
one. Yep.
So Hollywood Sports, for who you don't know, haven't been there. This is a field that they use actual movie props to play around paintball. Half of this game is kind of like an evening night game. So they have huge floodlights that light up the entire field. But from what I have been told and seen the pictures, you still got to worry about those shadows, right? But I'm interested to see what the floodlights would look like there. Now I will say it's probably a smaller field than us Texans are used to. Um, and yeah, so what we're gonna be playing that. Zoe's gonna be commanding against Callista. Marco said Callista. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. So Callista was actually supposed to EXO in SC Village when NNK went out there to play the K Nations. But I think something happened, so she didn't show up. So after this CPX event, We fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know how you want to look at it. We're gonna go to Florida. Um, so I mean, we get to see the whole nation this year, and
Hmm.
we're doing another CPX event, Dreaded Legends. We get to go see our boy Desi, our boy Nick Smokage out there. We haven't seen him. He moved out to go work for Outdoor Extreme and run one of their fields out in Florida. We haven't seen him in a long time. We missed the guy, so we're gonna go play in Orlando with him and Desi at Dreaded Legends, and that's going to be our third one and our final travel game for the year. There's another one I haven't sprung on the guys yet. I keep trying to drag these guys out there. So one more I'm thinking of. It's in like May. It's MagFed.
Hmm.
Bring your own first strikes. Other teams are talking about going. Alan knows what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, see, I see NNK World Tour. I told you. I told you that we did this the first time. We were trying to jump at a bunch of rec ball fields to do that. It was a lot harder, easier said than done. And we named it the NNK World Tour. But anywho, that's what we're doing as an NNK. And yeah, I think that's all I got to yammer about. Are you looking for
Oh,
that last picture?
well, I've got so the Dreaded Legends is here.
Yeah.
And then I just got the other one, which is kind
The
of
one I was yammering about?
a. Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, we try to play everything. MagFet, there it is. Balance of power. He knew what I was talking about. I know a lot of teams, a couple teams reached out to me that's saying they're trying to grab a Texas crew to go out there. I'm gonna start name dropping. I got Havoc came up. Well, Chris came up to me and said, "Hey, let's go." He said that Alan was he's talking to Alan about it. The Gorillas came up to me the last game this weekend. We're talking about going again. He's like, "Man, if Texas people are going, we're gonna go." And because we play together pretty often, and we play very similarly pretty often, and real recognizes real, and we want to go out there and do our thing out there. So
I know Kingsman went up this last year. They had a blast.
mhm.
They also recommended for us to go as well. So
I want to say there's one more in there, and I can't think of who it is.
I think Archangels were also
That's what
reached out,
that's the one, Archangel.
but I wasn't sure.
So yeah, so for this show, I think Perkins, we're all finished up here. I'm excited for the game. Uh, Perkins, I gave some advice to Perkins, maybe showing you guys some images that he has from his dossier. I think you had one you wanted to show. Just to kind of give you a little bit of a, I don't know, a taste of what these things look like. It's all very much so like this, and yeah, you want to explain? You want to go through this with him?
Yeah, sure. It's like so small. Let me pull it up on my actual computer screen.
Old people, bro.
Oh man,
You can't see that?
it's small on my screen because I've got like our faces are bigger.
Hmm.
So basically, I've built Redacted to it's designed to understand how to handle different situations, and being basically tested on all fronts, not just physically but mentally, emotionally. The emotional standpoint was more so Redacted one, and I know the players that played it really understood that one well for that first mission. And what was funny was I had to create like this whole ecosystem, and I'll share with one detail. So water was a commodity, and I walk onto the field, just kind of doing my thing, producer, safety, ref, whatever, and I see one of the NNK guys, one of my own teammates, who's playing the event, leaning up against a tree, just drinking the water, and I'm like, he's just drinking his points away. And I'm like, look at this, look at what, I'm laughing because I realize that he happens to have the same brand of water. It just doesn't have the event tag on it. And so he's just making it look like he's just sitting there drinking everybody's points away.
Yep.
And that was Squirrel. So my
I'm
hat's off
telling you.
to you, Squirrel.
I'm telling you. Our guys, they're demons, man. They like to mess with people big
Hmm.
time. I have to like fucking chill out, dude. But
Um,
no,
but
it's great.
But no, I'm really excited. Like I said, the game itself, I think a lot of people are like even just the registration process, it's not like the normal like, hey, what side are we signing up on? It's not like a red versus blue. So it's
There's some
you're
thought
signing up for a
process in it.
spot, and it's first come first serve. And I think that's what Rook was kind of I don't want to say saddened about, but realized, later on, man, I could have signed up earlier and got with all of my teammates. Um, but it's not necessarily too much of a disadvantage that mixed teams can still win. It is
Yeah.
still a possibility. It's just you got to put the work in beforehand and during the game. And then the one thing we left off is currently Redacted is a 1-day game, but it's structured so where like safety briefing is a 30-minute briefing. And everybody who's already playing knows the rules because you've had the dossiers for 3 weeks. So it's really not going over rules. It's just kind of more safety things. Other than that, it's quick on the field. Game on starts 10:30, and the awards on the schedule for this event is at 9:15 at night. So there's an hour and a half dinner break. That's including reloading and getting ready for the night missions. And then I think like an hour lunch, and that's it. And then there's 20-minute reloads, and that's it. So you're on the field playing, I would say like 85, like probably like 90% of the time. So the breaks are the times for the breaks are long enough for you to do what you need to do, but
You read
not
the
too long where you're
comments?
sitting there like wanting to play and you're like, oh, I've already taken my gear off, I don't want to go back, so
Yeah, let's get into these comments real quick. So the
okay.
WWE mission, redacted mission one, WrestleMania. Alan said I stole one of those bottles, and Aaron said you just had to be there. You just
Yep.
had to be there.
Yep, you
I heard
definitely
I
have to.
heard the stories. I heard the stories. Wild, but whatever.
It was
Oh,
one of these days, and it will come to the point where I'll be able to talk about like why all of that was created, and because there's something that's so secretive that I can't talk about, and I want to, but I can't, because if I have to use that same element later,
it's
it's just going to go to
cooked.
the wayside. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we're actually doing two shows. What feels like back to back. We will see you
mhm.
guys, and God, you see this NAK and paper. You know who that is, right?
Oh, of course I do.
It's our oldest member of the team that can't figure out Facebook. I'll tell you guys right now, his name's Damon Banks. He's on NNK paintball team right now because he doesn't know how to switch his profiles to comment on our video. But hey, I don't know. Uh, but we're doing these shows now, right now, back to back. Well, back to week to back. We're doing it Monday.
Yeah.
Um, I think with the lull we had there, I think it's time to just ramp it back up and start talking about things again. I know that when we do these shows, me and Perkins are in the beginning. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We're like, fuck, we gotta do this show, blah, blah, blah. But then we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of
Yeah.
fun. And we have a lot of fun here with you guys and just bullshitting and being ourselves. And yeah. So next week, Monday, doing it again, 8:30. We're gonna talk about CPX. We're gonna bring on Bumgarner, bring on Desi, and then we're gonna go back to kind of our original show plan and give you guys something like that. This
Mhm.
was something me and Perky wanted to do, and we just had to kind of fill in those gaps because we can talk about it, but we can't talk about it
Yeah.
because it's redacted. So,
Yeah.
anywho, I had a blast. I hope you guys had fun watching it. D-Rock, you're good. You're just old. And let's close this sucker out. Good night. Have fun.
I'm just gonna get into a coughing fit. So thanks, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later.